So many businesses think they're safe from cyber attacks. And their reasons, they sound pretty logical on the surface, but they're actually dangerously wrong. These aren't just little oversights. They are widespread myths that leave companies wide open. So today, we're going to break down the most common and most dangerous ones.
Let's just kick things off with a number that might surprise you. 43%. That's the percentage of all data breaches that target small businesses. Seriously, we're not talking about huge multinational corporations here. We're talking about the local companies, the backbone of our economy.
But here's the wild part. Even with that statistic, this is what most small business owners actually believe. They are convinced it's not going to happen to them, that they're just too small to ever pop up on a hacker's radar.
So what's going on here? You've got the hard data on one side showing small businesses are a massive target, and on the other, you have this widespread belief that they're basically invisible. Where is this disconnect coming from, and why is it so incredibly dangerous?
Well, that gap between what people think and what's really happening, it creates this incredibly dangerous false sense of security. It's what leads businesses to just skip over the basic protections. And the results, well, they can be absolutely devastating. How devastating? Try this on for size. A staggering 60% of small businesses that get hit with a major cyber attack go out of business. Not in a few years, within 6 months. The stakes really, truly could not be any higher.
All right, so let's tackle the first and maybe the most pervasive myth of them all. This idea that your business is somehow invisible just because of its size or the industry you're in.
The thinking usually goes something like this. Come on, we're not a Fortune 500 company. Why would a hacker ever bother with us? But the reality is the complete opposite. Attackers are opportunistic. They'd much rather go after easier prey. And, a smaller business with weaker defenses is the very definition of low-hanging fruit.
And this really gets to the core of what attackers consider valuable. You might think you don't handle millions of dollars, but you have client lists, you have employee information, you have business plans. What's more, attackers can use your systems as a backdoor to attack your bigger partners. See, to a hacker, you aren't just a target. You're a really valuable stepping stone.
Okay, the next big myth is all about delegation. This idea that cybersecurity is a problem you can just sort of hand off to someone else and forget about. We hear it all the time, right? Oh, that's IT's job, or we have antivirus software, we're good. But the reality is that security isn't just a technical problem for one department to solve. It is a business-wide responsibility. The best tech in the world won't protect you if your people aren't on board. Here's a great way to think about it. Relying only on your antivirus software is like locking your front door, but then leaving every single window in your house wide open. Sure, it might stop a casual passerby, but anyone who's actually determined is going to find a super easy way in. So, the solution is to build layers, what the experts call defense in depth. It means, yeah, you have a firewall, but you're also constantly keeping your software patched. You're enforcing strong authentication, like multi-factor authentication. You know, that thing where you get a code sent to your phone? And most importantly, you're training your people. The idea is, if one layer fails, another one is right there to back it up.
And that whole idea of training, it leads us straight into our third big myth, which moves away from the technology and towards the most unpredictable element of all, people. It's the belief that your team is just too smart to get tricked.
I want you to let this number sink in for a second. 95%. According to the World Economic Forum, that's how many cybersecurity breaches involve some kind of human error. It is a massive, staggering figure that proves your people, not your servers, are the real primary target.
The myth is that our employees, especially the younger, tech-savvy ones, can spot a scam from a mile away. But modern phishing attacks are incredibly sophisticated. We're talking real company logos, perfectly spoofed email addresses, and personal details that create this powerful sense of urgency and trust. Honestly, anyone can be fooled.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Just look at the FBI's own data. Phishing isn't just a problem, it is the problem. It's the most frequently reported cybercrime by a huge margin, which tells you one thing very, very clearly. It works. So, if technology alone isn't enough, and our people are the main target, what's the solution? Well, it's not about buying another piece of software. It's about building something much more fundamental and much more durable, a security-aware culture.
So what is a security-aware culture? It's an environment where security stops being just an IT checklist. It becomes a shared value. It's a place where every single person, from the brand new intern all the way up to the CEO, understands the role they play in protecting the organization, and they feel empowered to actually do it.
And this also means realizing that security is not a project with a finish line. There is no set it and forget it solution here. The threats are changing and evolving constantly, so your defense has to be this continuous process of learning, adapting, and always improving.
So I guess the question you have to ask about your own organization is this. Is your cybersecurity just a checkbox you have to tick off once a year? Or is it a culture that you are actively building into your company's DNA? Because the answer to that question could make all the difference in the world.